Hi, welcome. On this video, I just want to discuss the dynamic involved in terms of control with some dogs who really are holding a lot of control. Now, I just got done with a session involving 4 dogs and a couple of Huskies, a Shepherd, and a Lab. And you know, it's just very challenging in terms of just, again, understand it's all about, focus on people. So, but when you get dogs, you walk in a situation, dogs are just jumping all over you, and it really becomes very high intensity. But one of the things I encourage people to think about is, again, number one, it's important to structure, okay, really with getting things under control at an individual level. That's what really takes stress off people, because you get some of these situations that it's like just have a cascading effect in terms of just feeling overwhelmed, because definitely this couple felt overwhelmed. I mean, they love dogs, but again, we get dogs that have this much control issues. You can imagine dealing with Huskies and a young Shepherd. Okay, it's very challenging. But all to say, again, when I was working with this individual, and this is how it goes down, usually, you get people that can become very emotional, and then you get, 4 dogs, and they're, holding a lot of control, and they're really reacting very much so to the method. And, when I walk into a situation like that, my first thing is get a couple of them into the crate so that you're left with 2 dogs. And then both individuals can be working the method off 2 dogs right away. That helps a lot. But from there, one of the dogs, I was going to say that it was interesting, because this you'll see this is, when a dog starts holding a lot of control, the dog really will get onto their back. They start flipping around and just not necessarily trying to bite anybody, but the dog really gets very reactive to the method. Because again, it's because of what it represents. But then the dog had a shoulder injury at some point, and then the individual, you see them stepping back, the dog's reacting on the back, and you see the person is very, what happens with dogs that have had injuries, the individuals get very focused on, okay, why is the dog so reactive? Is it because of the shoulder injury from the past? And they start to really get even more emotional, and the dog picks up on that, and the dog will go even more high intensity. And you have to really get the person thinking correctly, saying, just hold on a second, and then help them reconcile that reaction. So I was spending a lot of time with this individual, because you can tell when people are more emotional, because they get their hands all over the dog, they're stepping to the dog a lot. You can see it on their face, like they're like horrified. Because understand the method's specific to revealing control, okay? But at the same time, these dynamics are such that you have to really not overwhelm the individual. You have to get them to kind of buy into the method, because the method's what's going to create change, is going to give them the ultimate relief from stress, both the dog and the human. But so you have to kind of slow go things a little bit, which I was doing with this individual. And the first goal is to say, okay, don't do the push-pull on the dog's shoulders, skip that step, even though I know that that's not what the real issue is, but it's about getting the people to see it themselves. So what happened was, as soon as they skipped that step, so that the shoulder injury couldn't be the focus anymore, if that was, or they're feeling that is what was causing it, the dog was reacting just the same. Dog's going on its back, and then it's like, oh, okay, well, saying, no, it's not the shoulder, it's, even though we'll accommodate for that, no, it's actually the method, okay? And starting to get the person lined up. And so all to say is, that's how you need to do it. Understand that people are in control, so you have to get people to see things for the way that they really are. And sometimes when you have a dog that's reacting very strongly to the method, you will accommodate and you'll do certain things, but then the goal is to get the person to truly reconcile what's going on. But see, the other spouse, she saw it more clearly than he did, because you always get somebody who acts as kind of like a little bit of a enabler. That's the best way to describe it. And not bad, because here's the thing, is not being negative with people, because you don't want to ever come off critical in a way that makes people feel bad. you get people to see things the way they really are so that they can actually make change. And so, but these dynamics can be very challenging, because the first goal when you step into a situation like that, you get 4 dogs and it's just high intensity, and the dogs are jumping all over me, and I'm trying to talk, and then the dogs are in the crate and they're howling, and even the dogs getting together, you have to be careful too, because they'll get nasty with each other, because it's like a drug. They're trying to, it's contrasting. It's like trying to find a counter. And so just all to say is, really, when you step into a situation like that that's very high intensity, you get 4 dogs that are off leash, they're running around, they're jumping, huskies, a shepherd, and the people are emotional. You have to, it's like the calm center of a tornado. You have to get that structure first. You have to get the dogs on the leashes. You have to slowly engage the method. You have to do a little accommodation, all those things. And here's the thing, it worked out just great. It worked out just fine, because like always, you always have a person that sees it more clearly than the other person because of people's emotions. But you give them the framework, you give them the framework so they can be successful. You help them reconcile what's truly going on, and take stress off people. So all to say, everything ended very, very well. But again, as a trainer, going into a situation, you have to have a sequence. You have to know a starting point. You have to know how to build bridges. You have to know how to create a level of calmness, but in the people as well. But the dogs were calming down really well at the end, a lot better, and they could see it. They're like, wow, this is like, we can see this. We can. It's tangible. It's something we can take a hold of. We can see the progress, and we know how to move forward. So anyway, ended very well. Had a great session with these individuals. But again, you have to kind of know how to really play out those dynamics and how to manipulate certain things in a good way to make sure they have a clear path to create change with their dogs. So thanks for watching.